Happy 4th Advent Sunday, everyone that's coming into this live this morning on this Sunday morning of Christmas. Yes, we have 1 of 5 or 6 more days. Let me see. I think we got 10 more days or whatever before the year is over. The year of 2021, and we going into the new year of 2022. So let's talk about the joy, the peace, and the good tidings of this year. Okay, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly. Praying and hoping that this year of 2022 will be a great year for Robert Sylvester Kelly. I know he got through the year of 2021. Praise God for that. He has a birthday celebration for his 55th birthday that will be approaching on January the 8th. And we supposedly be having it out in by the federal building in the park in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. We will be releasing balloons and doing maybe a candlelight ritual where we can lift up our prayers and hoping that God will grant him favor in his upcoming trials and also that he will be granted an appeal. So, things been quiet on this YouTube street, anything that's as far as for Robert Sylvester Kelly. And I say, if you don't really have anything good to talk about, as far as anything surrounding R. Kelly, don't speak on nothing at all. Don't even get on YouTube. That's the way I feel, especially at this time of the year, this season of Christmas, where we supposed to be about talking of the good tidings that God has brought us. This is what Christmas is about. If you're not giving your children Jesus and the story of the baby Jesus for Christmas, the gift of life, then they will never know how precious life is. And I say that because that is something that is everlasting. Santa Claus comes and goes, but Jesus is everlasting, everlasting. So when you bring Christ into Christmas, you have a more joyful celebration of this holiday. You can't celebrate Christmas without Christ because that's what Christmas is all about. Now, I remember growing up as a child, I used to see all the lamp poles and everything down the street lit up with garland and wreaths and lights and bow ties. I mean, bows and everything down the street. You go into the stores, you saw the window shop and you saw the Santa Claus, the bells ringing, and people just so cheerful at this time of the year. It was just a great time of the year. So much spirit, so much joy around. As a child, when I could remember, and stores showing that they having sales to for people to come out and purchase things for their loved ones or buy their secret Santa gifts for someone they want to give a gift to. This year, it's just like bum, hug, bum. It's no joy. There's no peace. There's no happiness. People are broke. Well, they claim they broke, but it don't take a lot of money to celebrate Christmas, to be honest with you, because that's because people don't know that without Christ in Christmas, your spirit is going to be broken. You won't look at it as a holiday to celebrate for the true meaning of the celebration. Being your home filled with loved ones and cheers. It don't take a lot. You could just invite people over for a meal. That would be a great Christmas gift, just to see them and just letting them know that they being in your presence is the gift. And you being in their presence is the gift, because we don't know when we're going to see each other again. A lot of people didn't make it through 2021, and 2021 isn't over yet. The year isn't over yet. It's still ticking. It's still ticking. So we don't know who's going to be here in the beginning of the new year. I don't even know if I'm going to be here, but I'm praying and hoping that I will, and God will hear my prayers and grant me those wishes. But I'm just saying, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You living in your comfort of your home right now. You don't even know if you're going to have a home in 2022. Anything can happen. People get burnt out of their homes, or it just might be an eviction notice for a couple of days for you to get out of your home. Anything can happen. So make everything count, your blessings. Continue to shout and give the Lord joy in your heart and giving him being grateful for allowing you to open your eyes today and see this day, because God didn't have to do it for you, but he did it anyhow. Just be grateful. It don't take a lot just to be nice during a holiday, or send out a holiday prayer to someone, to lift up a prayer to someone. Some people get on this YouTube every day just dogging everybody, dogging each other. And they get amused out of that. They get excitement out of that. I don't. I feel if you don't got nothing good to say or nothing good to do on YouTube, then I wouldn't even come on. Cause this is a channel, building your channel and everything. It's building your brand, your product, or whatever. And these things can follow you through life. You don't know. You be like, oh, I'm tired of this. I want to move on to something else. And by the time you try to move on to do something else, people going to remember the foolishness that you put out there. And people don't forget very easily. Somebody going to be like, this dude is a joke, or this female, she's a joke. She this, she's that. Your reputation of what you do, it sticks with you. People don't forget. And some of us should have learned something by now from this R. Kelly situation. Some of us should have learned our lesson. But see, people feel like it can't happen to them. And it can. What he just been through for these last couple of years can happen to any one of us, whether we rich or poor, famous or non-famous. You got some haters out here. No matter what you do in life, you got some people out here that just hate you and want to take revenge, or want to do something to destroy your reputation and destroy your life, especially when they see you got great talent, great gifts, and you might have offended them in some kind of way. And they will look for an opportunity to destroy you. Every last one of us that came in this fight against the injustice done to Robert Sylvester Kelly should have learned something from all of this. Like, you got to be careful about who you associate with, who you surround yourself with. You got to move in a way where you don't want to be too popular. You want to sometimes be unseen, but seen. But when you do be seen, you always want to be seen with a good reputation. Like, a lot of the stuff that they piling on Robert Sylvester Kelly wasn't something that he was in the practice of doing for many, many years. I was just watching Cadillac Records. It was on Stars, Black Stars Encore. And I was watching the movie just the other day. And I was watching Chuck Berry. And Chuck Berry was taken in custody because he was a very, in that time, during his time in his music career of rock and roll, famous rock and roll and everything, that was getting all the love and all the attention from mostly white teenage girls. And there were places he wasn't allowed to sing in because of him being black. But his music was great. He wrote for just about so many other artists, famous artists back then, like the Beatles and you name them, in those times of rock and roll. And the thing is that out of the jealousy and the hatred of these white supremacists, They took Chuck Berry down stating that he was taking underage girls over the state lines. Chuck Berry lived in his car. He saved about he was living like a hobo. He wasn't allowed to um go inside of any of the places when they was on tour to go eat and stop and get something to eat with in white people only restaurants. Or he would have to be able to send somebody in there to purchase for him to bring him out food to eat. So what Chuck Berry was smart. What he would do is before he would give them any of his money, he'd rather bring his own food and live out there on the street like a hobo and let somebody just bring him a sandwich or something to eat. He refused to spend his money in any business that did not accept him. And he was able to save over $100,000 just living like a hobo and a famous music artist. And now, Robert Sylvester Kelly's story was just that he was getting a lot of attention from a lot. Every time he made an appearance, it was always women flocking around him, and young women, old women, you name it. Doesn't matter. It was just that he was just drawing a lot of attention. People loved him, his genius of his work. He just had that special gift about him. So somehow or the other, somebody was managed to have him do a porn tape. And in that porn tape or whatever, of course, this tape was altered and made it look like it was him with an underage girl. So from that porn tape, which I never seen it and never really had the desire to see it, that one little thing that happened in the beginning of his career, we don't really know the story behind that tape. It was just so much going on at the time. But anyway, and this thing with Aaliyah and all this other stuff that he was to work with Aaliyah and his relationship with Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, and his relationship running with these people. R. Kelly was getting a lot of attention for a long time, making a lot of money, and he wasn't, a person. Well, people say, oh, well, he could have went to school. He could have got himself able to read and write. It's not that easy, folks. It's not that easy. If it's not in you from the beginning, then it won't be easy to do. Some people can work under chaos and still maintain, and some people cannot. Some people can only do one thing at a time, and some people could do multitask of things at a time and still come out and do great. It is what it is. Some people can multitask and work around chaos and all kind of stuff and still maintain balance. And there's some people who are not able to do that. So maybe right now that R. Kelly is incarcerated for these last 3 years and he's not doing any music right now, he's not doing concerts, he's not doing tours or anything else like that. It looks bad on the outside of things. But somehow on the inside, there could be a whole lot of great things going on for Robert Sylvester Kelly. And I'm praying and hoping everything is working for his good. Meaning that now that he has been, been in solitary and he's not been out here in the public or whatever, he can concentrate on getting his education, reading books. Somebody's coming in there and help him with his writing and whatever else skills he might be lacking in, that he's learning something new while he's there. Not only just writing music, but also reading literature and working on other things within these 3 years that he's been held without bond, and the years that they given him as far as like the 9 counts that they gave him in RICO and racketeering. Me personally don't believe it's going to be that long. Okay? I don't. But I believe Robert Sylvester Kelly is working on some things in his life and things that he's, starting to regain. He's starting, they say you lose something, you gain something else, and he's gaining something new in life, a new education. And he's going to come out a lot more wiser than he was before he went in. And I'm hoping and praying that God will grant him more years of his life to live through that experience. And this is why I say it's so important to celebrate his life, his birthday on January the 8th of 2022. 55 years of his life been here. And giving God thanks for those years. And I tell anybody, celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything else, celebrate life. Celebrate your birthday. Because God has granted you another year through getting wisdom and experience. And I don't come on here for this time of the year to do any craziness or have any conversation with anybody on anything stupid, back and forth, going at each other with beef. Things that have been going on for the last 3 years. This man been locked up. If you ain't got nothing good to talk about in the audience of the Robert Sylvester Kelly supporters, I think you need to just move on. Move on. And so many people I see running to these channels to listen to this foolishness. To actually listen to this foolishness. And I say like this, when God pull you out of a mess and give you something new to work on as your craft, and God got other great things in store for you, you got to work towards those goals with God. God can't give you something, just hand it over to you. It takes work. It takes work. You have to learn how to discipline your mind, move your mind away from the nonsense. Because eventually, if you keep looking back, you're going to fall right back into the mess God brought you out of. And then it ain't going to be so easy to get out of it. It's not going to be easy. And I know we say these things about we all fall from the glory of God. Yes, we do. But once you learned your lesson in one place, you don't go back to that same place again. You move forward and to the next level. And whatever you're working on that next level, if you seem to be having a little, you know, hard to keep your balance there, or you having some stumbling situations, then that's a new step you're taking. So it's going to take a while before you can move to the next level. But one thing of falling while you're in a new place, and one thing of falling is looking back instead of moving ahead. We can't drive looking at the back rear view windows, the rear view window. We have to look forward at our vision of what's going on ahead of us, not what's behind us. And the more you keep looking behind you, you can't move forward to get ahead. You have an accident, and sometimes that accident can become fatal. So you have to be careful of looking behind instead of ahead. Because when you're trying to go to that next level, that's when the devil comes the hardest at you. But you got to keep moving forward and trying to overcome your adversaries, adversities. If it takes you not to be on YouTube, to turn away from it for a while, even for a month, and pray on it, then that's what it takes you to do, just so that the enemy won't have his way with you. If every time you coming on here and you being attacked, then maybe you need to turn away from it for a while. Maybe you just need to turn away from it for a while. If it's not bringing you anything good, but evil, the devil know how to play these games. And sometimes God would allow the devil to have his way with you because you're not hearing what God is trying to tell you. When God is trying to take you to another level in your life, you can't come out and speak of peace and the joy and the good tidings in this time of the year. Stay off of YouTube. Stay off of YouTube. Because we all know the adversary is just waiting for an opportunity. Adversities are here. Because this time of the year, we're going to look forward to a great year of 2022 for Robert Sylvester Kelly. Just a great year ahead. Because what you put out there is what you're going to get. And like I said, he's probably doing some great things while he's sitting behind waiting for his next trial. And people are out here putting out information with salacious readings and letters that he's supposed to have wrote. And, rumors that are starting to pop out about from other celebrities. And, people just putting all this stuff in the way. That man don't hear none of that. Nobody heard anything from him. He ain't say a mumbling word. That's what they saying, but that's not what he said. People trying to get their channel up, trying to make their money, trying to get their little fast money cash app and this, that, and the other. But God sees and knows all about what these people are doing, and everybody's going to have to answer to God for what they do. Nothing goes on in the dark ain't gonna come to the light. And some of us been here long enough to see BS when we see it. And it is what it is. This is the season to be jolly, good tidings towards men, make peace with your fellow man or your fellow woman, bring joy into your life, into your home. This is a time of year that everybody should be cheerful and should be saying, giving thanks for God allowing us to see another Christmas. This year is coming to a close. And speak of good things so good things will return to you. I don't got time for the foolishness because I can't come on here and talk about Robert Sylvester Kelly unless I got something good to bring you. And right now, the only good thing I could say is that Robert Sylvester Kelly has been sitting quietly. He ain't been bothering nobody. And he's maybe studying and trying to get himself a good education while he wait and do his time until he goes to the next fight with his next trial and working on good behavior. So his time won't be long. And looking forward to celebrating his 55th birthday, and his fans are out here to celebrate with him and for him. He ain't looking at none of that stuff behind him anymore. It's over. He's just looking ahead for better days to come. And if you feel you can't fight for him and do it the right way, you need to jump off the ship. So Like I said, whether you famous or not famous, this can happen to anybody. But if it's going to have to take you to get locked up or be gravely injured or get hurt by somebody just to put you in a place where you can hear God when he speaks to you. You can't do this without asking him for to help you and asking the Savior to help you to make better decisions, to be wise, to give you the wisdom, to make sure he see the things that you don't see, to help you take this walk in your life to become a better man or a better woman. That's that prayer that says, protect me from the things that are seen and unseen. You got to ask the Savior to help you. Can't do this on your own understanding. And God has put this prophetic message inside of me to give this message to somebody. Stop running to the foolishness. Stop running every time you hear trouble. You got to go see what's going on because you might be the one that gets snatched right up in it and might be the one to get injured. You got to be careful. And with me saying all that to you on this Advent Sunday, this fourth Sunday in Advent, may the peace of God pass with all understanding, guard your heart, your mind, and the places you go on these YouTube streets. May the peace of God be with you on this Sunday. And at 6 o'clock, I got a call and find out what's the schedule going to be like today. Stand up to be counted. Who does the Bible study on Sunday for healing the soul of the woman? I don't know if I'm going to make that announcement today because I spoke with her, and right now she's dealing with some things that's going on privately in her life, and I'm not going to put it all out there, but keep her in your prayers. Her ex-husband just passed away, but keep her in your prayers, okay? Um, it's not an easy time of the year to lose someone and somebody you spent so much time in your life with. But stand up to be counted in your prayers. I will be reaching out to her and finding out what is she going to go ahead and do the Bible study today or not. So you all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. And if God's willing, I will speak with you all soon. Take care. Peace.